Well, bore da, good morning. Now, I'm off to the mental. Haven't been to the mental for 2 weeks, 2 whole weeks. So that's where I'm going today. What I thought I'd do, make a little bit of a video, have a bit of a natter as I'm walking up to the mental, which is way over in that direction. Can't see the mental from here, but you can see Denbigh Castle, which I've just shown you there. So yeah, so you're welcome to join me on my walk up to the mental. As you can see, there's top of town, there's the castle. Castell Denbigh. So yeah, so I'm walking up and have a bit of a natter on the way up. I'll be doing the actual update on the mental, will be a separate video. So let's get going. This is Rill Road. It's one of the main roads heading in to Denbigh. If you come off the A55, you drop down through St Asaph, Trevenant, and this is the way you'll be coming into Denbigh, to Denbigh town, Rill Road. Okay, still on Rill Road, just headed into the junction of Rill Road, Rithin Road, and Vale Street. And heads up to top of town. Thanks a lot. Thanks. Yeah, so there's the Abbey. It's the what is it? Oh, Townsend Takeaway. It's the old Abbey filling station, named after the Abbey. I hope you can hear me. It's quite windy today. Which is right. Oh, hang on. I'll show you. Get it squared on. It's right down, and there's a car just pulled in. Anyway, the Abbey. It's right down there. The Abbey, which is haunted, or the Friary, Denbigh Friary or Denbigh Abbey, whatever you want to call it. Oh, it's a breezy one today, but this is Townsend, or bottom of town as we call it. And a lot of these things I'm going to talk about today I have covered over the years on my channel. If you're new to my channel, then it'll be new to you, but if you're a regular, then you're gonna, I'm gonna talk about stuff that I've covered before. Yeah, that's the abutment of what was the bridge. The only thing left of the railway bridge. And there's a bit of a clue to tell you that Denbigh had a railway station. And that's the railway pub. And that's when it came across there. And that's part of it here. So this is Vale Street. The main road heading, it's the busiest road as you can see, and it contains all the biggest and grandest buildings. There is not a street like it other in Denbigh. There's no other street like it in Denbigh. So and on my right here was the old Denbigh Dairies, and I filmed that, well I filmed the whole part before it was demolished. That's where the old Denbigh Dairies was, and the quick save. I filmed a lot of stuff before it is no more. But anyway, that's Vale Street, heading up main road. And just on my right here was where the Quicks was, where I had my first job straight from school, 1978, in BMS. And on the corner there was a little hut that sold fish and chips and stuff like that. This is going back centuries. And the railway station was roughly there, where you can see Aldi at the back there. The only thing that remains now of the railway station is the water tower, which is there to the yard there. There was part of the part where the railway line was, the platform, a section of the platform. Well, that's gone now. Well, that's an old one. L73, if I remember rightly. K is 72 and L 73. And there, just that archway there, that's that door there. That was the door to Shop Ding Dong, used to call that. It was like a little grocery shop. And you used to open the door and it used to ring a bell, it used to go ding dong. And everyone used to call it Shop Ding Dong. So there's Lidl's, or Lidl. No one knows how you pronounce it. It's Lidl or Lidl, something like that. It's the old Hope and Anchor. Never ever been in that. It's one pub I've never ever been. And there's the Evan Pierce Memorial Gardens, where the secret tunnel, it's one of the access points, or so they say. Whether it exists or not, no one knows, but the Evan Pierce Memorial Garden. And over here, opposite here, where Lidl's is, that was Salisbury Place. That's where Dr. Evan Pierce lived. So they built a memorial garden and a memorial statue of him. So that's where Salisbury Place was. So heading onwards and upwards up Vale Street. To the Mental, just in case I never mentioned it. Oh, the Mental's haunted as well, just in case I never mentioned it. Or did I mention the Abbey, the Friary? That's haunted as well. I might not have mentioned that. As I said earlier, all the biggest, grandest buildings, all in one street, all in Vale Street. There's no other street like it in Denbigh. You can see at the top there, all the huge buildings. Vale Street. And there you can see Gelli. That was one of the first, or the first, brick built house in Wales. You can see it's all brickwork. And it was the first, or one of the first, the earliest brickwork house in Wales. It was built in Wales. And there, that's the old police station, which is no longer the police station. That was where the police station was. The jails, the side at the back there. And there, the Hawk and Buckle, the pub. Well, that's all that remains of it today, is just the sign, the Hawk, and the little buckle. And there's Mostyn House, which is haunted, and it is captured. Well, John Franklin did it up, and he took a photo of it, and in that window there, he swears 100% that there was no one in that building, but there's an old woman. I've got that on my channel as well, so I keep looking every time I pass, and there's an old woman looking out. Right, down there, go down there, cross Park Street, turn right, bear left, you come to the Goblin Tower. And there's the bell, stops the, going back in the old days, they were cutting corners. All this wasn't here, and they were cutting the corner and they were knocking the wall, so they put a bell there to stop people cutting the corner. So yeah, across the road here, it's a quiet spot, do all my own stunts. So yeah, I'm almost at the top now. To the rain! It's just started raining. They never forecast rain, but Denbigh in bloom. And I might get recognised, well I do get recognised a lot. And actually in my filming, I might get the odd toot and hoot, and someone will shout, Denbigh vids, and all that. But you get used to it. There's the stocks, and there's the cross, so you can see when it's worn away, there. All the butchers, the old butchers, and people that had swords and stuff used to sharpen their swords and their knives and stuff on it. There's the old Bull Hotel, which is Guildhall Tavern now. No chance of making a phone call in there. But yeah, if I get hooted at or something, it all adds to it, and some people don't like it. Spoils the video, but it doesn't bother me. So this is High Street. This is the top of town, as we call it, but it's not the top of town. It's in this is halfway, but we call it top of town. Henry Morton Stanley. And there's the library. That was an old market hall. That's Crown Square, the Angel. And that's not the original position of the Angel. It was in the middle. And they moved it across. And I remember them doing it. They had a crane or a strap round it. They lifted it up and moved it across. So that's the old angel. There's Hull Square behind me. It's not really a square, but it's called Hull Square. Anyway, it's the top of town, on High Street, and it's raining. Didn't forecast rain, but anyway, keep going in it. And if you want to get to the castle, as you can see there, the sign there. People have moaned about that. It says, look at that monstrosity of a sign. But it says castle. Goes up Broomhill Lane. Anyway, I'll stop filming now and wipe my lens. Got rain on the lens. I'll see you in a minute. That shop Clwyd there. That's the oldest timber framed shop in Wales. I'm not sure when it dates back to. As I said earlier, I've covered these things before on my video. I'm just sort of outlining it. And there, that's where the post office was, the original post office, which is just at the bottom of Bull Lane now, but that's where it was originally. And as I say, if you're new to my channel and you may find this interesting, subscribe if you want. I do all stuff about the mental, Denbigh, past and present, and talks like I'm doing now. Stop raining. Right, keep going. So yeah, beep 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 beep. So I'll be going up that way, Highgate. And if you ask a lot of people from the High Street down to Lenton Pool, what's it called? And I think a lot of people will say Bridge Street, but it's not. The first half, up until the plough, you can see in the distance there, it's called Portland Place. Bridge Street is the bottom half, but a lot of people just call it Bridge Street. And up here too, there, they'll call that all of this Love Lane, but the first half up to where the old Rudy's was is Highgate, as you can see there. And there was the old Woolies. It's Bevan's now. That was the old Woolies, and there Parker's, Geoffrey Parker fish shop. Anyway, I'm up on Highgate now, and I'll show you where Love Lane starts from old Rudy's. And if you want to get to the castle, as you can see there the sign. Got these steps here. You go under through Burgess Gate. It's quieter here too. And then you head up and you come to the castle, Denbigh Castle. And that was the old Futura, or when I was a kid, Futura Cinema, but when I was a kid it was the Wedgwood. Mason used to run it. And this is Rudy's. That's where you used to get in and out the street shop and tobacconist and what have you. But that's Rudy's. Yeah, and I used to live, well, I grew up there, Love Lane Garage. That's where I grew up as a kid. Born and bred Denbigh. And that's what I grew up. And next door, that was the paint shop, which is the Brit now. And next door, that's the showroom, the old garage, and the attic. And right at the very top there, because they were coach builders, it was all Williams Brothers. And my tide worked for Williams Brothers, high quality coach builders. And then when Williams Brothers couldn't carry on anymore, they gave him that building. He says, you can have it, Love Lane Garage and all the buildings. They just handed it over to him. And then it was a garage then, car garage like. So yeah, and as I say, right at the very top there was all the parts. It was in 3 sections, and they had big trapdoors. And the bottom part I should say, down the bottom to the right, that's where the smithy was. If I had a camera when I was a kid growing up there, I'll tell you what, it'd be interesting. I remember it now. There was two smithies, 2 furnaces, one big one and one smaller one, and there was anvils there and horseshoes and all the stuff. Yeah, like I said, the very top part, which is there, we call that the attic, there was all lanterns and parts of the carriages, all the metalwork. There was wheels, the old wheels were there, barrels, the old wooden barrels, loads of stuff up there. As I say, if I had a, oh, this is the old jail. They call it the old prison, but we call it the old jail. And that's haunted. The owner that lived there, going back years now, said that they had to have it exorcism. You know, they had to, and all the doors all opened and all slammed shut, because there was weird, strange goings on there. So they've got an exorcism going on there, and ever since they've got some priest or something, you know, like whoever conducts it, and they didn't have no trouble after that. So that's the old jail, but they call it the old prison, but we never used to call it that when we were kids. We used to call it the old jail. Right, I'm not far off now, just over top of Love Lane, and I'll be at the Mental, which will be a separate video. But this was originally two-way. It's only one way now. You can only go up Love Lane, but when I was a kid it was a two-way. You could go up and down. And this building here, which is Hen Ysgol. Hen Ysgol means old school. So you can see there, I'll just zoom in there. Hen Ysgol, it's called old school. I think it originally was a school, but when I was a kid we used to go in there, and there was a fella there, and he used to make these trains, these small scale, not tiny ones, but the ones you can sit on, you know, and go around. I don't know what gauge they are or anything, but he used to build them there. We used to go in there, he used to show us. That was interesting. But it's Hen Ysgol now. I think it was a school originally, but anyway, not far off the Mental now. Hope you've enjoyed this little natter, as I say. If you're a regular, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you're new to my channel, hope you find it interesting. I had a recent comment. Someone said, oh, I've been living in Denbigh for 20 years or something, and I've just come across your channel now. I'm loving it and all that. Anyway, obviously, basically, keep going. Right, just on my right now, got a bit of a view of Upper Denbigh. There's lower, middle and upper. And there's a part of Denbigh Castle, Castell Denbigh. So yeah, just down there. And what will come into view? But the Mental. And as I say, it's a separate video. I do the Mental updates every so often. And I'll say it once and I'll say it again. 25 years, it's more than that now, but you know, to round it off. 25 years I've been documenting the Mental. Over the years. Updates, info, I've done walkabouts in the grounds, in the buildings, done updates. I've had liaisons with millionaire developers over the years. And Elwyn, who can forget Elwyn? You can't forget Elwyn. Not that I condoned his actions, but he was a character. And other security. Over the years, 25 years, as I say, been documenting this place now, and that's what I'm doing. But it'll be a separate video. So yeah, so it's just down there. And here, the old Trevelyan, I may as well carry on filming. We're called the Mental Club. It's the Trevelyan. It was a convalescent for patients. I think it was just male patients. It was when they've been poorly or ill and what have you. It was a convalescent. I don't know how many patients were in there, but it's the Trevelyan. But in the Mental Club, they used to call it. There's a few pints in that place. So, right, anyway, I'll show you the Mental and then I'll end this little natter. So there's the Mental, North Wales Hospital, Denbigh Asylum. But as locals, we just call it the Mental. So I hope you enjoyed this little walk and little natter. Bit of the history of Denbigh. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again.